Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. So this is the surprise guest. This is someone that I shared with you. I think he's been on my channel twice before. I've been on his channel once or twice before. It's the one and only Spencer Cornelia. How you doing, buddy?
Good morning. I'm doing great.
Yeah,
I'm
I
doing
think
great.
I
Thanks for having
screwed
me.
that last name up. I practiced, and I got in my head.
No,
So
you got it.
oh, I did. Oh,
Yes. It's better than some of the people that do like Cornelius and throw in a random US.
Yeah, where's the S in that? Hey, man. Well, the reason I reached out to you, and thank you, I know you're really busy, is you just closed on your third house hack. So I thought in our first video together, we should talk about house hacking. I think it is the cheat code to wealth. I think more and more people need to do it. I think it has this aura of, I don't know what it is, but more and more people who do it need to at least think about it, run the numbers. So let's tell us about the third deal, which you just closed, and then we'll talk about your portfolio, which I think is 15 tenants now or something. So all
more.
Good stuff. Oh, wow. Let's go.
I really appreciate you saying that because I think it is the easiest way to start in real estate. There's a lot of different elements that you get confronted with, that is managing tenants, managing different personalities, sometimes renovations, sometimes just simple handyman work. Where a toilet's busted, that you're not going to hire a contractor. You need to come up with a solution.
Right.
So I think it's the best first way to start. Anyway, I'm at 3 houses now. It would be 17 tenants.
Oh, 17. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. So the first two I have 7.5 here in Las Vegas by the airport. It's probably a C area is what you classify, a weird area, but 7 tenants. And I found that handles a certain part of the market where you have
what year did you do this? I think it's important to see your evolution.
I actually officially purchased that house last April.
Okay.
However, it was a lease purchase. And so I took over the property on March 1 of 2019.
Okay. All right. Gotcha.
Yeah. So I had that one for about 2 years before I was able to officially purchase. Some people have seen my story. I lost a lot of money in flips. I had terrible credit because I maxed credit cards and I couldn't officially buy it until thankfully I found a lender that was able to help with it. Because then I was self-employed.
Right.
I had YouTube income, but only 1 year of tax returns, which is, as you're well aware, it's very challenging finding a loan, especially an owner occupied. It's like, dude, I'm getting at the time, like $3,600 a month in rent. And I just need a loan for $1,300 a month. Like, dude, this is insane. This is a 3X DSCR.
Yeah.
You know, like just someone give me a loan.
Come on, this loan is good. Come on.
Yeah. I'm good for the money, you know? And then thankfully with YouTube being able to take off the way it has, I was able to buy my second house hack, which is an owner occupied currently. It's the house I'm currently in. It's a beautiful 5-bed, 3.5 bath that I converted to a 6-bed.
Okay.
So get this. I bought it for 500. It appraised for 495. That was in July of 2021.
Okay.
I can comfortably sell it for 575 today.
Wow. 6 months?
Roughly 6 months. That's not a joke. So I'll give you the reason why. My new house that I just closed on was 559 and is 2,900 square feet versus my current one, which is 3,065.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So slightly smaller, and it's not quite as nice. This one was kept in a little better shape. And that one was 559 and appraised for 559.
Wow. And again,
in the same area.
And we didn't say this. This is all in Las Vegas.
Correct. Yep. Las Vegas, Nevada. Yeah.
People say you can't do deals in Las Vegas. And again, this is why house hacking is, I think house hacking, this whole, baby boomer, buy your first house, move up, all of that. Maybe that's over. Maybe the right answer is, you know what, you got to get out of college or out of high school if you don't go to college and start house hacking. Because Todd Baldwin, who's been on my channel and created content for the course, roommates, it's a thing. You have lived for free since 2019. Is that a fair statement?
Much sooner, actually. I was living for free since 2015.
Okay.
It's really the only reason why I was able to kind of become who I am. At the time, I knew this idea of like renting a room in your bedroom or in your house, you could live for cheaper. Right. I did that with a condo where I wasn't living for free, but much cheaper in a nice condo. Yeah. And then I was able to get the house hack I had first mentioned, the first house hack.
Right.
But with all the troubles going on with flipping, it was always my stable income that was able to cover all my bills.
Wow.
Because my living expenses were so cheap. Because I was actually cash flowing while living, technically living for free. Yeah. A common misconception about the roommate thing is that you're going to live with these weird people who ruin your house. And I've literally dealt with every problem possible, but I'll tell you that when you do it well and you are able to attract what I would say a good tenant, they actually become friends within your house. And there's actually many days where I don't see a single tenant, and roommate, tenant, whatever you want to call them. I don't see a single one. And so many of my days, I don't feel like I'm living in this like college house.
Wow.
But I think it's an example of how first world America is now. When I hear a 25 or 26-year-old saying something to the effect of, I can't live with roommates. It's
what
like, do you
thinking?
realize how privileged you are in the history of the world?
Yeah.
That you have to live alone. You have your own unit and your own bathroom.
Yeah, it again, I went as we started. I think house hacking, I actually want to rebrand it cheat code to wealth, because I think house hacking has this almost shady, like hacking is, just, I don't know. Anyways,
can be a negative connotation.
Yeah, thank you.
In some ways, yeah.
Yeah. So again, this is something that's amazing. And again, all three of these houses are within what, 30 minutes of each other driving?
Oh yeah, Las Vegas, you can get everywhere 20 minutes. Yeah. So the first one was a little different. It was a buddy who was selling it, and I was into real estate, and I was like, okay, this is a great way to start getting cash flow from a property. That property is not one I would buy today. Thankfully, my financial situation has changed such that I can afford a nicer house. And so I'm sticking, it's the southwest area of Las Vegas, which is roughly 15 minutes, 20 minutes to the strip and to the airport, easy to get around, great areas, a lot of appreciation. And what's crazy is the reason why I found like this golden zone is in this price range, you're a little out of the FHA zone.
Yes. Yeah.
And so you're right above FHA. So you don't get that much competition from new buyers. And then you're at a price range that, a family has to be doing pretty decent to buy a $500,000, $600,000 house.
Right.
I don't really have much competition. And I actually heard the 3-story model that I live in. A lot of people in Vegas don't like the 3 stories because elder folks don't like walking up and down stairs all the time. And I'm like, this is literally the perfect house for my model.
Yeah,
so
exactly. Create separation. Pocket. Yeah.
And it's not quite a nice enough house where you get the people that can come in and they've got,
California
big time money. Yeah, exactly. They're probably going a little nicer. So I found this weird pocket that I can buy on the MLS full price. I don't care.
So the one thing I want to ask now, just because house hacking, I think, needs to become a right answer for more people. Let's assume you didn't have YouTube at this point, which again, you're doing amazing things. Now with this third unit, and once it's all rented and leased up, could you theoretically live for free forever with just the positive cash flow from 3 units?
Yeah, I'd be good forever. The third house, the deal wasn't great. I really wanted to buy before the end of the year. Do you know what, do you do cost seg?
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Okay. The plan was I was going to do cost seg to try and offset my YouTube income to buy before the end of the year. So I bought what I would classify as a C deal. It was not a great deal. So the cash flow is going to be tight because I did a bank statement loan, 15% down, 5.5% interest. So not great. And I couldn't get that 6th bedroom, which is my specialty. And there's the layout isn't, but anyway, to answer your question, between the 3, I'll be roughly 13,000 a month gross.
Okay.
And probably roughly 4,000 a month net. And that's including me living for free. Right. So that does not, if I needed to go live on the streets, I would get 800 for my current room, which would jump that number up higher.
Yeah. So again, $4,000. You and I have known each other for a long time. I remember our first interview. Actually, I watched it again. You could live on $4,000 a month without YouTube.
Absolutely, because that's also your biggest expense is generally living.
Yeah,
so if you remove that, I have a Tesla that costs me $1,100 a month, and then food, let's call it 500, health insurance, yada yada. It's like 2,500, and I live pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah. So again, folks, house hacking works. Maybe not the first one. Again, I think what you just said, people need to realize there's a lot of people out there that know the latte factor. I think Tom Bach or Eric Bach, whatever his name is, basically don't buy $6 Starbucks and you'll be a millionaire when you're 70. Well, if you go and attack your largest expense when you're 20 and you live for free and you let that snowball and you move once or twice, because again, your 3 deals, were they considered all owner ox loans?
Yes,
that's
correct.
Again, live there for a year.
Sorry, the third one was investment property.
Oh, so the one you just did.
That's non-owner occupied. It is an investment property.
Why? I'm just curious. Why? You just don't want to move again, or?
My current house, the room I'm in is a 20 by 15.
Oh, okay.
And with my unique scenario of needing my studio and a bedroom, there's not many houses that offer a 20 by 15 room. Okay. And because I just analyze this all with numbers, I don't ever live in my master.
Yeah.
And so what house has a 20 by 15 is like a secondary room. Yeah. So gotcha. I'm very thankful in the house I live in. And then I also thought this would provide a unique opportunity because I have yet to do one where I have no intentions of moving in.
Okay.
And so this will be a good chance to really analyze worth my time and energy. Should I continue doing this as the YouTube income grows?
All right. And then again, folks, if you don't know why he asked about cost seg and bonus depreciation, what he was hoping to do, and it sounds like you missed the cutoff based on the way you phrased that. You were hoping to close in December, so it would be in use in December, which would mean you get all of that. I call it the cost back, or the cashback credit card, basically where you probably would have saved 40 grand, but now because it probably closed in January, based on the way you put that out, Yeah, you got to pay a little bit more to the IRS. I'm guessing that's what happened.
Correct. That is exactly what happened.
I've done this before. So yes.
Yeah. I got under contract on the 3rd and I put 28th as the contract date. And I'm like, to try and hustle them to have like a couple extra days. And it just didn't work out. Oh, well.
Yeah. So when did you close? Like the 1st?
On Monday of this week. So was that the 9th or 10th or so?
I guess I feel better, right? It would have been worse if it was like the 3rd. It'd be like, oh, come on.
We had to extend. Well, it sucks. We had to extend to the 4th and then the 9th and the 10th or whatever. But
once it got past the 31st, it didn't matter. It's like,
it is what it is.
It is what it is. So again, so you have 17 tenants, model works. You can live for free, not have to work, not have to do anything else. You live well. This is a big change from losing all that money in flips, going out of state. And the other thing I wanted people to realize is you can do this in expensive markets in your backyard. You don't have to get enamored with out of state investing, right?
I completely agree. Yeah, looking back, it is what it is. I don't have that life of regret or anything. You know, it's a good experience. It taught me a lot and all this. And I actually probably don't have YouTube without that because I was lonely and depressed when I started doing YouTube, and I couldn't do anything because I had no money. So I was kind of forced to go, okay, well, I've got time and I need to start something. So let me do YouTube. But yeah, this is one of the hottest markets, I think, still. Oh, it is. And I think house hacking is possible. I meet a lot of people that aren't on social media that come to my meetups. I run a pretty big meetup here in town, and they bought a $400,000 house and it works out. I know it's probably really challenging for a lot of people. And I understand some people are experiencing that, 10 offers and no accepted offers. Sure. But it just takes one. You can only buy so much real estate, right? Once you buy one, you're probably off for maybe a year or two. Yeah. So you really just need that first one. Yeah. Well, what I hope people realize in your story is, again, my words, not yours. You got attracted to quick money, the sexiness of out of state, the sexiness of flipping. HGTV makes it look easy. When in reality, you could have, and you're doing it now, you could have looked in your backyard, looked at a different model, not flipping, house hacking. And again, YouTube and all of that's great. I just want other people to realize if you're 24 or 28, you don't have to get enamored by this quick out of state money. Maybe the right answer is house hacking. And again, I have experts on my channel like Anna Kelly, who lived in a big ass house in Texas that ended up moving to Virginia, and her first, with 2 kids, she ended up moving into a 4-plex. So not quite roommates, but again, a different version of house hacking, which set her up to retire early. So I think more people need to look at what's called house hacking. I agree. At the time, I wasn't in this I hate my job mode at all. I wasn't one of those guys, but I did have the interest in real estate and leaving my job at some point. And so the flipping was quick money to then funnel into maybe buying a 4-unit or apartment. But it is pretty ironic that this model that I love, I could have just bought another one in a nice area here in Vegas, and it is what it is. It's all good. Life turns out just fine. Yeah. I think it's a strategy that more people should do. And it's why I preach it so much, because I see part of the reason why I do it is while running this meetup, we do have a lot of beginners come and they want to get in real estate. And unfortunately right now, if they're making 40, 50,000 a year in Las Vegas, flipping in Las Vegas, you have to have a lot of even hard money lenders are like 10 or 20% down. If you're a first time flipper, if you're buying a $400,000 house, not many people have that much cash. And so I see a lot of beginners that want to get in real estate, and I can sense that energy. They really want to do it. And I think house hacking is probably the easiest starting point for a lot of beginners. Yeah, I think it's the easiest starting point. I think more people should consider actually getting, like Gary Vee talks about, getting uncomfortable. How many, like you live in a 3,000 square foot house, you only use 2 bedrooms, get uncomfortable for there's just, if you really want it, it can happen, but maybe you have to get uncomfortable first. And having roommates, as you've talked about, it is not as bad as many people think. We'll get into that in episode 2. Where do we want to send people if they want to get part of your world, maybe learn about your meetup? I have a Facebook group called Desert Rat Real Estate. Oh, okay. So that's the easiest place if you want to see the events. Very cool. We do it twice a month. We actually have on Tuesday nights, we have more of a bar social night. That's a really good turnout. We generally have 40 or 50 people. Ah, very cool. I got to come to that someday. Yeah, if you're in town. I'll let you know. Very cool, Spencer. Well, thank you very much for doing this. We will get into episode number 2. Thanks again.